I was in a car accident. I fractured my spine in 3 places, shattered my pelvis in 8 places, and severed my sciatic nerve. The doctor said that I would never walk again. I did physical therapy and tried everything that they told me to do. But it wasn't until I started exercising that I began to feel like myself again. I was always active. I was running track and playing basketball in high school and then in college. I wanted to be a physical therapist, so I majored in kinesiology. My whole life has been exercise and activity. But in 2012, everything changed. I was in a serious car accident and was paralyzed from the waist down. I fractured my spine in 3 places and shattered my pelvis in 8 places. I had an emergency surgery where they opened up my abdomen, cut out all the shattered pieces of my pelvis, and bolted it back together. They also fused part of my spine where it was fractured. Then they sent me home with a whole bunch of physical therapy exercises. I did everything that they told me to do, but after a year of hard work, I still couldn't walk. I was seeing a lot of other patients who were able to make more progress than I was, and I got really discouraged. It made me wonder if I would ever be able to walk again or have a normal life. I started to think maybe I was just making up how much pain I was in. Maybe I was just imagining things. Maybe I was over-exaggerating. Maybe I was just a hypochondriac. And that really bothered me, because I knew that I was in a lot of pain, but I didn't know what to do about it. This is when I met my wife. She was doing physical therapy at the time for something else and saw me struggling. She took pity on me and decided to help me out. So she came over to my apartment and started helping me do my exercises. At first, I was very grateful to have her help, but then I started getting frustrated. Every single day she would come over and help me do my exercises, and we would do them over and over and over again. And every single day I would tell her, "Thank you so much for coming over and helping me. I really appreciate it. You're such a lifesaver." And every single day she would laugh at me and say, "No, you're the lifesaver. You saved me from having to go to a nursing home." We would joke back and forth like this for a while, but it was really frustrating, because I felt like I wasn't making any progress. It wasn't until several months later that I realized that she was actually right. I was the one who saved her from going to a nursing home. I was the one who needed the help, not her. I mean, sure, it was nice to have someone around to help me, but I was the one who needed the help. I was the one who was stuck at home doing nothing. I was the one who was in pain. And instead of thinking that she was stuck helping me, she was the one who was saving me. And that was a huge realization for me, because it made me realize that I needed to change my attitude. I couldn't keep feeling sorry for myself. I had to take charge of my own recovery. That's when I decided to start exercising. My physical therapist wasn't super thrilled about me starting to exercise. He was afraid that I would hurt myself. So he told me to start slow, just a little bit of cardio, maybe some swimming, but I went way too hard. The first time I went to the gym, I started out by walking on the treadmill, and then I got bored, so I switched to the elliptical. Then I got bored with that, so I switched to the stair climber, and after about 30 minutes, I was exhausted. I figured that I had done enough, so I went home and went to bed. The next morning I woke up and my legs were so sore that I could barely walk. I thought to myself, what have I gotten myself into? But even though my legs were super sore, there was a part of me that felt good. I felt like I had accomplished something. I had taken control of my life again. Over the next few weeks, I slowly started to increase the amount of weight that I was lifting and the intensity of my workouts. And I was surprised when my leg strength actually started to improve. Before the accident, I could squat 225 pounds. After the accident, I could only squat 65 pounds. But a few months after I started working out, I was squatting 135 pounds again, and that was a huge accomplishment for me. But it wasn't just my leg strength that improved. I also started to feel better about myself. I started to feel like I was making progress in my recovery, and I had something to look forward to every day. I had something to work towards. My physical therapist was amazed at the progress that I was making. He couldn't believe that I was walking without crutches or a cane. He couldn't believe that I was lifting weights again. He couldn't believe that I was actually getting my life back. One day I walked into his office and he was sitting at his desk. He looked up and he asked me, "What's the secret? What's the reason that you're making so much progress? What are you doing differently?" And I honestly couldn't tell him. I was just doing things that I liked doing. I was lifting weights. I was doing cardio. I was exercising. But somehow, that was making me feel better. At first, I thought that my physical therapist was disappointed in me, because I couldn't give him a clear answer. But later on, he explained to me that he was actually pretty happy for me. He said, "You know, you don't need to do all these exercises that we're telling you to do. If you're able to get stronger and walk better by just exercising and having fun, then that's great." Today, I'm almost back to where I was before my accident. I can walk, run, lift weights, do cardio. I can do pretty much everything that I could do before my accident. And it's all because of fitness. If I hadn't found a way to make my physical therapy more fun, if I hadn't found a way to make it more enjoyable, I wouldn't have been able to stick with it. I wouldn't have been able to make the progress that I made. I wouldn't have been able to get my life back. I know that everyone's situation is different, and not everyone will be able to do what I did. Not everyone will be able to just start working out and see results. Some people might need more help. Some people might need more support. But I think that if you find a way to make physical therapy or your rehabilitation more fun, if you find a way to make it more enjoyable, you'll be more likely to stick with it. You'll be more likely to see results. You'll be more likely to get your life back. So, if you're going through physical therapy or if you're rehabbing an injury, find a way to make it more fun. Find a way to make it more enjoyable. Subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that my story has inspired you to keep going. Hey guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to hear more stories like this, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you never miss an episode. Also, if you know someone who could benefit from this video, please share it with them. Thanks for watching. See you soon.